How you doing? You need a refill? No? Jenny, can see if we can get this man a refill. Not me, though. Doctor says I got to lay off the sugar. Got to stay healthy. Jenny's got me on a diet. Leafy veg, lean meat. Diet Coke. I get a 52 ounce about once, maybe twice a day. Since you're new here, I thought maybe I could give you the rundown. We got a lot of staples here in the South, many of which you know. Oh, the South's got great food, and hospitality, sweet tea, crawfish, $5 a pound. Alabama versus LSU football. Racism, well, they're not all good. And we've got a lot of unique personalities around here. Now, growing up down here, I didn't even see the craziness, not until I left the house. This one time, my uncle and I were driving back from across the state. We'd been looking at a muscle car. The man loved muscle cars. He had a 1970 Chevy Chevelle LS6. Old leather seats, custom caps, 450 horsepower, 500 foot-pounds of torque. Oh, ain't she a beauty? Just make you want to cry. Anyway, we were driving back, and this big van, you know the color, it kind of cuts us off. Near about ran us off the road. Now, I was 20 years old, but I was scared. Now, what does my uncle do? Does he stop to make sure that I'm okay or that he's okay? No. What followed next can only be described as a high-speed chase. I'm hearing banjo music playing in my head. We're driving up and down the road for 10 solid minutes. We finally come up on this van, and who should be driving but a little old lady. Probably cataracts and all. Now, any normal human being would back off, but not this Southern man. No, he reaches into the console, pulls out his Beretta, starts waving it around, and wait. No, don't go. Well, that's not why I invited you over here. I know. All right. The fishing store, which really isn't even about fishing. My daddy loved to fish. Me? I like it now. But 11-year-old me couldn't stand it. I much preferred eating fish to catching it. Luckily, we ate a lot of it. Ooh, now my favorite was crawfish. Oh. And my daddy once told me that the best bait to catch crawfish is... Anyway, before we get into that, I need to tell you something. Forrest Gump was not a realistic movie. Can you imagine it? One man piloting a shrimping boat all by himself? I mean, sure, he had Lieutenant Dan, but that man didn't have any legs. Forrest had to hoist him up. You remember that? Hey! Lieutenant Dan, what are you doing here? Well, I thought I'd try out my sea legs. Well, you ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan. Exactly. Captain Forrest Gump. Anyway, I mean, he didn't have any help. I mean, who even drove the boat? Now, my daddy always drove the boat. He wouldn't let me drive it. He said it was a man's job, wasn't fit for a tiny little old 11-year-old me. That's right. I used to be small. I wasn't always this mountain of a man you see before you. In fact, I was quite short. Why, in 5th grade, I was only 5'11". My dad liked to go fishing, but didn't like to take me. He sure went a lot. Charlie, why don't you take the boy fishing? I don't see why I can't go out and cast a line on by myself. He's your son. Oh, he's your too. Teach him how to snap beans. I want to go fishing. Fine. It's my dad's favorite word, fine. He used it for everything. I'm sorry, sir, we're out of steak sauce. That's fine. Congratulations, Charles. You're getting a promotion at the paper mill. Fine. I'm sorry, Mr. Warner. Our best estimate is about 3 more months. I suggest you best get your affairs in order. Fine. My daddy drove my mama crazy. But she loved him like a fire you wouldn't believe. She wanted to make sure that I spent as much time with my father for as long as I could. Some fathers and sons played catch. Some learned how to drive, talk to girls. I went fishing. Hand me the pole. Yes, sir. That's the wrong one. Wrong one? Yep, that pole's for salt water. I need one for fresh water. Okay. Daddy, how come we only get crawfish once a month on Saturday? I was talking to Frank Wilson down the street, and Frankie says his daddy makes crawfish every Saturday night when it's in season. Now, my dad, he didn't answer. He just kept his eyes on that red and white bobber out there, his hands gripped on the reel, sweat running down his face. I cast my line out. Let it sink. I got a nibble or two, but nothing big enough to take home for dinner. So I cast it again. The line naturally went slack. Sun's beating down, my eyes started to close. Then all of a sudden, my bobber disappears. Whoa, reel her in. I'm trying. Oh, that's right, arms down, hold tight. Now reel it in slow. Oh, I think you got a huge one. Now my dad was excited, but I didn't quite know why. I'm trying, Daddy, but it's too strong. You take it. No, this is your fish. No, but I can't do it, Daddy. Now my dad put his pole down and knelt behind me, wrapped his arms around me and put his hands on mine, and we were fishing together. Just reel it in nice and slow. Oh, yeah. I knew my dad was happy. I could smell beer on his breath through his aftershave. That's right. Tugged the line, and we did. Oh, we were fighting man versus what I thought had to have been the world's largest catfish. But the fish won. Oh, the line snapped and we fell over backwards. Oh, I thought my daddy would be angry, but he just laughed. I thought he'd tell me what I did wrong, but he said, son, I'm proud of you. You put up a good fight there today. I felt close to my dad. That night, he took me and my mama to this restaurant. What's the name of that restaurant? Why, it closed when I must have been 16 years old. Raoul's Fish, that was the name of it. Raoul's Fish. Had cloth napkins and everything. I know now that it was really more than my father could afford. It was the same restaurant my mother and father ate at for their wedding dinner. She loved to tell a story about smearing tartar sauce all over his nose because she got mad at him because he stepped on her dress. Oh, it made him angry, but that story always made me laugh. Oh, we didn't talk about too much, just sat there, ate. There was a dish of tartar sauce on the table they bring out with the fish, you know. Now, I don't know if you like tartar sauce, but my dad hated it. He sat there staring at it like it might attack him. He always gave his tartar sauce to me. My dad was laughing, smiling, felt like $1,000,000. My mama kept looking at her reflection in the butter knife. I could see her smile. She had this bright colored lipstick on. Well, I mean, I can't remember too much about that night. This man came to our table, my father's foreman, asked him to step outside. When he came back, he wasn't smiling. He didn't say anything, but we knew what had happened. You can't have a sick man operating heavy machinery. Is everything all right, dear? It's fine. We just had to go outside and talk a little bit, nothing serious. But I knew he was lying. I looked at my father. He looked at me with his eyes. I couldn't take it. I couldn't keep looking at him, but he kept looking at me. I knew he wanted to apologize, and I couldn't take that. So I grabbed a dish of tartar sauce and smeared it all over his nose. Oh, it was dripping down his face. I thought my dad was going to hit me or something. No, I mean, he didn't. He was laughing. He was crying. Oh, my mama was crying. She was laughing so hard. Oh, I felt like I had discovered fire. I'm glad that they had one last time to laugh together. I miss my dad. He was a good man, a real good man. He bought me crawfish. Now I make crawfish for my kids. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? The South, this neighborhood, men like my father. It's about family. Welcome home.